Welcome to Dry Ground Honey. Welcome to part 5 of my first nucleus. Today we're going to be getting everything set up for winter. We're going to make sure that hive there is going to get through the winter. Got plenty of food. We're going to feed it up. We're going to change the... One little trying to get me then on my hand. We're going to make sure the floor is safe from mice, any pests like this, wasps. We're going to get that hive. We're going to get it set up for winter. That's what we're doing today. Let's get and have a look. Well, now you're getting more used to having your bees. You've had it for a couple of months now. It's coming through the winter. What you want to do is start having a look outside the entrance. See what's going on. See the bees are bringing in the pollen there. Bright yellow stuff. That's more likely ivy. Up there feeding on ivy there. Ivy there. There's ivy all around you. Get to know the ins and outs of your bees at the entrance. You'll have a good idea of what they're doing inside. It's come to the end of the year now. It is the last week of September here with me. So we're going to get the feed in, make sure they're up to wait for winter. But at this time of the year, you don't really want to be going into your colony unless you've got a reason to. If you've got a reason, go in there. Like if something's going on, you've got to go in there. Don't be scared. There's people on the internet saying, "Oh, don't go in there." If you've got to go in there, go in there. But if you can avoid it, leave them be. We're going to do what's called hefting the hive. We're going to lift it up a little bit, check how heavy it is, see if we need to feed it. I think we are going to have to feed it, you know. So we're going to heft this, see how heavy it is. We're going to put food on. And the first things we're going to have to do is rearrange this little block inside our hive. I'll show you what I mean. See this block here? The little hive entrance block we use to reduce it down. Through the winter, if you've got a hive entrance block like this, bees can die in the winter, and if the bees die and they litter the floor here, the other bees might not be able to get past them to get out to fly. So what we're going to do is we'll take this block out. Like if you've got one of these blocks, take this block out, turn it around the other way like this, put it in, so the gap you've got is at the top here, so that way if this bee's dead on the floor, the other bees can still come out to have their cleansing flights during the winter. And if you've got a mouse guard, put a mouse guard on there. I haven't got any mouse guards, but what I've got is underfloor entrance floor. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch that floor out today to make sure mice don't get in there. Like I haven't had a problem with mice in the past, but I only had 2 colonies going through winter last time. One had a block floor like this, the other had an underground entrance floor. But I'm trying to get everything onto underground entrance floors. So that's what we're going to do first. Put a new floor on. This is the floor I'm going to use. Underground entrance floor. Bees go in there, come up there into the hive. Throw mesh on the bottom. Oh look, hornet. Still hornets, man. Got no time for killing machines. Flippin' heck. Right, where was we? Right, easy thing to do. Get the floor ready. Gonna move the hive somewhere else for the time being. We'll move the entire thing. So I'm gonna move the entire hive first. Look for your legs. Got a bit of weight to it. Put the new floor down where the old floor was. Pick everything back up. Put it in its place. There, easier than it looked. Bees is going in and out of this new floor. They'll get used to it now over the next week or so. They'll get used to that. Mice proof, done. Step 1, we've protected it from mice. You either put your mouse guard on Change your entrance block up so the bees can still get in and out for the winter. Or if you've got an underfloor entrance, you don't really have to bother with anything like that. Right, number 2, let's give it what's called a heft. I'm led to believe that the full national hive, needs about 20 kilos of stores to get through the winter. That's 20 kilos of sealed honey to get through the winter. Now there's no way really of knowing as a beginner, like I don't know yet, how much, if it's heavy enough, just by giving it a heft. But the way you can check is you pick up the hive on the side, give it a little lift, do it on the other side, give it a little lift. If it feels like it's slammed to the floor, then that's probably heavy enough. If it feels not quite slammed to the floor, then give it some feed. You'll know then later on in the season. When I had my hive last year, by the time I'd finished feeding it, it was heavy. So I'm not sure how many kilos it is, like 30 odd kilos maybe, by the time everything's in it. A cedar hive like this. Like if you've got a poly hive, it'll be different. If you've got Langstroths, it'll be different. Just gotta lift it up, and then through time you'll know what's heavy enough. But I've just lifted this up, and it needs a feed. You see all the bees coming back in now, they're getting used to it. If you remember, I took a 3-frame split out of mine. You won't, yours might have enough stores. We're not going to go in the colony today, just going to do it by hefting. I have already been feeding it. Look how many bees are in there now. Lovely. Let me show you. I've been feeding my bees with a rapid feeder. You see here, I pour the syrup in there. It was an ashfall feeder where they come into a little well, but I took that bit out because I like to have them rapid feed like this. So the bees come up through these slots. I'm going to pour the syrup into here, and all the bees can come in and drink it much faster than if they had to go through the little well together. There's lots of bees in our colony, though, it's a good sign. As this time of year, it's the last week of September, feed your bees with 2-to-1 sugar syrup. You can either do 2 kilos of sugar, 1 litre of water, anything around like that. Or you can use invert bee. But this is just 2-to-1 syrup in here. Careful not to spill anything. The bees get touchy around this time of year and don't really want to cause fighting. So you just put in your 2-to-1. Felt like it needed a bit, and I'm going to get all these ready for winter. It's going to be cold now soon here in South Wales. The weather doesn't look good. So I'm going to put quite a lot of feed in here. Leave that on. Fill this big feed up about halfway. Maybe 5 kilos of sugar have gone in there. These little bees stuck. We don't want them to die. Let's move the grass over a bit for them to get hold of something. If you put a little hay in your feeder like this, or straw or something like this, then the bees that get stuck in the syrup got a way to climb off and they're not going to die. These guys are feeding already, look. In there already. So the bees now, they'll eat this feed, take it down, store it into honey. Still make bees maybe the queen might still be laying. But they'll store up into honey. What you need to do then is come back in a couple of days or so. This is at the end of September, so they're getting ready. You can, if you've got flows going through, leave them on the flow. But the weather for me is going to be terrible in the next couple of days. So I'm just feeding all my colonies, getting them ready for winter right now. Going to make them full. Wherever bees they go, that's where they go. So you need to come. What I'm going to do, I'm going to come back in a week or so, maybe 4 or 5 days, heft them again. If I think they need feeding again, I'm going to feed them again. And basically, I'm going to keep feeding them till they stop taking it down, and then I'll definitely know that they're good for the winter. They needs to feel like a struggle to get it up off your hive stand. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be hard work to lift that bad boy up. Now they're going to be getting this sugar syrup. They're still going to be getting from the ivy. It's sunny today, so they'll be up there getting the ivy. So the hardest part now staying out of the bees. Don't go in there. Unless you really, really, really need to go in there, leave them. We can only do bad things to them. We might be kill the queen, or we can only do bad things to them now. There's nothing you can do to get a new queen now, really. So just stay out of them every couple of weeks until it starts getting under 10 degrees. If they need feeding, feed them. Other than that, done. Your colony's ready for winter. Check them every 3 weeks through the winter, like November, December, January. Then come February, they'll start laying brood again. Come January, they might start laying brood again. Then you'll have to be on top. They're going to start eating all the stores. Then you might have to put fondant on. If we feed them enough now, they're probably not going to need fondant. But we'll come to that next time. There we go. Mouse proof, wasp proof, fed for winter. Your first nuke's done. Done for the year. Good job. Good job. He's still alive. Gonna be alive next year. Then the good fun starts. See you again. Thanks for watching. Ta.